with regards to name calling, fair play to Matthew. Matthew, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
You heard a lot of what we were talking about, and this kind of carry on happened to you, did it? This name calling?
Yeah, so like it mostly happened with boys kind of calling me names more than girls. Like all my friends would be girls, so like they would never really say anything, that kind of way.
Yeah. But you'd always be aware that somebody would say something. Like, why did that? Were you a little overweight, was it?
Like, I was never like your skinny boy, that kind of way. Like, I was born 10.5 pounds, like I was a big baby, that. So, like, no matter what, like, people are always kind of looking at me different, or, like even running now or anything, like, I'd never do that kind of stuff, so people kind of name call.
Was it in school?
Yeah, it kind of started in first year, kind of right up until fourth, and then, like, it kind of started about then, like, being gay and all that, so, like, people were kind of bullying me for that then as well, so, like, I kind of was always bullied in secondary school,
Because you were gay?
Yeah. Like, sorry now, it's like hard to talk about, but like,
yeah, I know.
People would kind of call you names, like, for being different, or like just for being you, really. And I think that's why people were calling me names, just for being myself.
I thought we'd moved on from all of that stupidity.
Oh, stop. So does my mum and all that. My mum always says it to me. She's always like, what a hard world we live in, She was like, because, the TV show It's a Sin? She was only watching that recently.
I saw that, yeah. I saw that. Did you see
she
that?
Was like, she never knew. Yeah, I saw it. It's very sad.
That's the way it was.
Always just
like that's a great mini-series, right? And it talks about the AIDS epidemic and the arrival of HIV from America. But it doesn't go in, and it's not supposed to, I think, to go into the amount of abuse that the gay community got in the back end of the 70s and the early 80s, and how they were ostracized and name called and beaten up and couldn't get jobs. And, it was, It's a Sin is good, but it doesn't go into it as bad as it was. It was awful. Awful.
No, and that's the thing, like, we're even in the year 2021, and like, you'd still kind of be a bit scared to say that you're gay to certain people, that kind of way. Especially like the older generation, they kind of look through a bit different.
Well, they shouldn't, because it's just about embracing everybody and being happy, Let people be happy.
Exactly.
So, would you put on a brave face in school then, laugh it off?
So, at the start, I wouldn't. Like, I used to kind of come home from school every day. I'd have those one or two teachers who I'd look at like they were like friends at the time, and like I'd kind of tell them everything. And then I went to my doctor, and I was telling my doctor that I'm upset and all that. So I got referred to CAMS, and I went through therapy and everything. And then they were like, you just have to keep smiling. So my mum then was like, Matthew, just look at yourself. And like, my mum's my biggest support through it all, that kind of way.
I know.
So I was kind of just putting on a face then for certain people. But then when I got home, all this kind of stress gets you because you're not being you at times.
You could never be you at school.
Yeah.
You always had an act.
All-boys school. Yeah. Like, I went to an all-boys school. It was a GA school. So, like, like I was kind of the odd one out all the time. So, like, I didn't even have friends in school as such. I only had, like, 3 or 4. All my friends would be in, like, the different schools,
So within your own school, you had nobody had your back. You had no mate that stood up for you?
No, nobody really, Like, there was always that 1 or 2 people that would always be there. But, like, when they're out of school, it's hard to be by yourself then as well.
Did you start to eat then because of emotional imbalance and things?
I was eating my emotions as such, just because, like, you get bullied in school, and then you come home, and then your people in your estate would bully you. So, like, you kind of have nobody. So I was kind of eating my emotions without realising it as such, and turning to, like, Netflix. And then, like, it got to a stage where I didn't want to leave my house anymore. So, like, that thing got very bad. And then the people in the estate were name calling me more. So we moved house eventually over the bullying got so much.
You moved home because they were calling you Fatty Matty and things like that.
Yeah, they were being really mean, like, and like, I'm not allowed to say the word on air, but it's like the F word for being gay.
Yeah.
And like, they were calling me that and everything. So like, the bullying got very bad, and like, they wouldn't be name calling my parents or my brother, but they'd kind of throw dirty looks for everything. So we moved to Youghal, and ever since I moved to Youghal, I'm very happy. Like, I have lifelong friends, I have people that I can look out for, and they text me every morning saying, are you okay? So if it wasn't for my friends, my family, I wouldn't kind of be where I am today,
If it wasn't for your friends and your family, I mightn't even be talking to you, because we have heard stories of people who just couldn't make it because of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll never forget the time I rang my mom. It was coming up to, I think, Halloween time. And I just said to her, I started crying, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And like, ever since then, me and my mom are like best pals, you know. Like, if you see my mom, you'll always see me, you know, that kind of way.
Well, here was I mean, I don't know will things ever 100% change, but I'm of the belief that it is a much better and safer world now to have a son or a daughter now who is gay than 20 or 30 years ago, you know, but...
Yeah, exactly, and like, even in work...
But that's not exclusively true in all cases, you know what I mean?
No, not as such, not in my kind of case. Like, when I was doing my makeup course and when I started becoming a brow technician and all that, like, I get clients into me and they're like, I just really want to bring my son or daughter into you and just talk. And, you know, like, that's nice as well. But my problems aren't their problems. You know, we all have different problems.
They want you to talk to their children or their young kids because they're teens, what have you, because they're having similar problems, is it?
Yeah, and, like, I'd be very open about my story as such, but I wouldn't go into detail with, like, customers, obviously. So I'm just like, yeah, just bring them in and we'll just talk.
So school,
they don't know how to talk.
School, yeah, they're bottling it up like you did. So school then, particularly primary school, that's sniper alley then for a gay boy or a gay girl. It gets easier then in your when you leave school, I suppose, does it?
Personally, I found leaving school was the best thing ever. Like, I know people say, oh geez, I hate this whole COVID. Like, I do too, but when COVID came into place, like, I just made a deal with the principal that I'll come in for the rest of the year, because I missed so much days of school. I missed, I think, like 64 days of school just to do for bullying. And 2 days later, after me just making the deal, I went into level 1 lockdown. So, like, to me, COVID was a blessing because I'm myself now. Like, if it wasn't for COVID, I don't know what would have happened in school.
You would have had an awful 2020.
Yeah, exactly, you know. And, like, when I started, like, being me, I was getting comments on my social media and everything. And, like, I had to delete them because it was getting so bad. And, like, you'd say to your principal and all that, but your principal wouldn't do as much. Like, my vice principal would be, like, the person who'd understand us the most, where the principal wouldn't.
See, a lot of the time it's sinister and it's unproven and it's your word against theirs. And, like, principal probably is thinking, what can I do about this? You know, you can have policies and guidelines.
If you bring in a screenshot of the comment, they're just like, yeah, it's taken down now. But, like, there's nothing about what it does to you inside, you know.
So like, you would have a screenshot that would be identifiable to somebody's account who is in the same school or class as you. That's evidence.
Yeah, it would say their full name and everything, and they would just be like, look, he took it down, there's nothing we can do. But, like, that was never enough because all you want is an apology.
No, and I think there should be a suspension for that, Matthew. I really do.
Exactly. Like, my mum used to always take me from school just because the bullying got so bad. But, like, why should I be taken out of the school scenario? Why can't they?
There should be a suspension there, and it should be in the rules of the school, and all students and their parents should know that if you engage in online bullying and it's proven and we have evidence of it, you're suspended. If you do it again, you're expelled. Simple.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, there's no kind of room anymore for bullies, you know. Like, why can't everyone be themselves? Like, that's what we always kind of think. Just be yourself and you'll be fine. But in my scenario, I was trying to be myself and I wasn't fine.
You in a happier place now?
Yeah, I'm way happier now. Like, I have a job, I have friends. Like, if it wasn't for those and my family, like, I'd kind of be all by myself again, you know. So, like, I can't go to work now, obviously, with COVID. But, like,
have you found your tribe?
Yeah, I found, like, I have 2 different groups of friends, but, like, they're 2 groups of friends that you can trust, you know, that kind of way.
That'll do you.
I have one my age and then one I think they're about 3 years older, and, like, I would be lost without them.
That's good news to end this conversation on. You're in a better place now.
Exactly, I'm happy now.
Did you manage the weight?
I'm still struggling with the weight, I'm not going to lie to you, but, like, just kind of take each step as it comes, you know, that kind of way.
Without a doubt, yeah, without a doubt. Okay.
Yeah, once you're happy in yourself, that's all that matters.
Baby steps, and before you know it, you'll be into a stride and a sprint. Good luck to you, Matthew. It's lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
And you have a great mother, incidentally. Well done to her as well. Fair play.
Thanks so much.